And now it is 1:30 and we are ready for this afternoon's Key Stage 2 yoga class. So as you may know, today is the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II in Europe. And then tomorrow will be the 75th anniversary of what is known as VE Day, which is Victory in Europe. And there were lots of parties and celebrations to celebrate the fact that Germany was defeated and the war in Europe was officially over. So we're going to have a little look at some of the things around World War II. And then most importantly, a little later in the session, we will look at the celebrations that occurred around VE Day, the day after the war in Europe ended. So we're going to begin by finding ourselves a comfortable seated position in just a moment. So make sure that you have your mat ready, that you have anything you might need for relaxation, perhaps a blanket, although it is rather warm today, but you may want to have your favourite cuddly toy to hand to help you settle down in relaxation. And remembering to remove those socks so that you have good grip on the floor, and to make sure that you're listening to your body. So if anything's uncomfortable or you're feeling a bit tired, then make sure that you take a rest should you need it. So if you now have everything ready, we're going to head over to our mats and find a comfortable seated position where we can grow nice and tall in the body. So that might be either sitting on your bottom or up on your knees, whichever position you've chosen. Growing tall through the body, lifting your head up towards the sky. So we take 3 deep breaths together each time you hear the chime, breathing in and out. Lovely. So, as some of you may already know, World War II started in 1939. So on the 1st of September, Germany decided to invade the country of Poland. And then 2 days later, on the 3rd of September, we, Britain and France, declared war on Germany because we were allied with Poland and we were looking after their country by going to war against Germany with them. So World War II was the deadliest war there have ever been. More fatalities happened during that war than any other. So there were lots of sad stories behind the war, but we are mainly working towards that celebration when Germany were defeated. So this happened later on, and we'll come to that. And the war mainly, although it's known as World War II, happened in Europe and Southeast Asia, but on some level, nearly all of the countries on the earth got involved in the war. So we're going to start by warming our bodies up, and we're going to hop all the way up to standing to begin. So coming up onto your feet, taking your feet just a little bit wider than together, so they're about the same distance as your hips. Really push those feet down into the floor as you grow taller through the crown of your head, making a really straight, long line with your body. Bringing your arms alongside you and bringing the palms to face into your legs, as if you were standing to attention, just like a soldier heading into battle. So we take a big breath in and out. In and out. Super. So we are going to warm up with our sun salutations again today, but we're going to be doing them slightly differently. As we're looking around the theme of World War II, we are going to practice some Sergeant Sun salutations, which is a version I learned from Kidding Around Yoga online. So for these ones, it's going to work that I'm going to call out an instruction, and then you're all going to call that instruction back to me, and we will do the movement and come into the pose together afterwards. So it works a little bit like call and response. So come to stand at the front of your yoga mat, nice and tall like that soldier ready for action. And bring the hands together in front of your heart. So calling out after me and we'll move together. Arms up.
Arms up.
Fold down.
Fold down.
Left leg back.
Left leg back.
Right leg back.
Right leg back.
Plank pose.
Plank pose.
Lower down.
Lower down.
Roll the shoulders.
Roll the shoulders.
Looking up.
Looking up.
Downward dog.
Downward dog.
Breathe.
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 Hop to the top.
Hop to the top.
Tangle low.
Tangle low.
Reach up high. Reach up high.
Reach up high.
Hands to the heart.
Hands to the heart.
Right, pause here for a moment. Take a big breath in and out. Going again, calling out as we go. Reach up high.
Reach up high.
Folding down.
Folding down.
Right leg back.
Right leg back.
Left leg back.
Left leg back.
Plank pose.
Plank pose.
Lower down.
Lower down.
Roll the shoulders.
Roll the shoulders.
Looking up.
Looking up.
Downward dog.
Downward dog.
Breathe.
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 Hop to the top.
Hop to the top.
Dangle down.
Dangle down.
Reach up high.
Reach up high.
Hands to the heart.
Hands to the heart.
Take a big breath. We're going to take 2 more rounds just like that. Standing to attention. Reach up high.
Reach up high.
Folding down.
Folding down.
Left leg back.
Left leg back.
Right leg back.
Right leg back.
Plank pose.
Plank pose.
Lower down.
Lower down.
Roll the shoulders.
Roll the shoulders.
Look up high.
Look up high.
Downward dog.
Downward dog.
Breathe.
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 Hop to the top.
Hop to the top.
Dangle down.
Dangle down.
Reach up high.
Reach up high.
Hands to the heart.
Hands to the heart.
One big breath here as we head in for our last round. Reach up high.
Reach up high.
Fold down.
Fold down.
Right leg back.
Right leg back.
Left leg back.
Left leg back.
Plank pose.
Plank pose.
Lower down.
Lower down.
Roll the shoulders.
Roll the shoulders.
Look up high.
Look up high.
Downward dog.
Downward dog.
Breathe.
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 Hop to the top.
Hop to the top.
Hand down low.
Hand down low.
Reach up high.
Reach up high.
Hands to the heart.
Hands to the heart.
Lovely. Release those arms back down by your side. Come into that resting soldier pose. Just let your breath settle back down. Just notice any changes in your temperature or maybe in your pulse. Lovely. Now our soldiers are nice and warmed up. We're going to begin to head out into battle, and we are going to do some marching. So for this, we're going to be lifting our knees really high, swinging the opposite arm forward. So if you don't have lots of space, you can simply do the marching on the spot. Or if you have some space in your room, you might choose to march around. Just watch those hands, don't knock into anything important or into any other members of the family that might be doing this with you. So when you're ready, begin marching either on the spot or making your way around your space. Lift those knees nice and high, coming up to a right angle, 90 degrees. Swinging those arms, really working into those shoulders and the hips. Super stuff. Watch out for your fellow soldiers. You're on the same side. Oops, don't start marching backwards. That was a silly idea. Just taking it for 5 more seconds. Heading back to march on the spot. coming back to stand nice and tall. So not only were there soldiers out at battle during the war, there were lots of other people working behind the scenes, making uniforms and equipment, building some of the planes and boats that were needed, and also looking after people that maybe had to move away from their homes to safety out in the countryside. So the whole country pulled together and worked as a team, and there's no doubt that everybody at that time was incredibly brave. So we're going to embrace some of that feeling of bravery using our strong, steady warrior two pose today. So stand a bit further back on your mat. Now take a big step forward with your right leg, bringing it to the middle of your mat, bending that right knee, making sure it doesn't come beyond your ankle, and turning your back foot to 90 degrees, pointing at that long side of your mat. So you set up that strong, steady base. Now I'm going to float your arms up at shoulder height. Keep those shoulders nice and soft as you look out over those right fingertips. Looking out to the horizon, looking to the brighter future. As you breathe in, really big breath down to your belly, filling up with courage. Then breathing out. Breathe into the belly and out. Once more. Float those hands down to your hips. And then simply turn on the spot to take your warrior the other way. So this time your left foot is at the front. When your left knee is bent, your right foot pointing sideways. Nice, strong, steady base. And then lifting your arms up at shoulder height. Soften those shoulders down, but look out over your fingertips. Out to that brighter future. As you breathe in deeply to your belly, breathe in all that courage and strength. And out. Once more, feeling brave. And out. One final breath. Releasing the hands down and bringing your feet back together. So there were lots of different modes of transport that were used during World War II to help us fight and win our battle. So we're going to look at some of those in turn, moving our bodies to make those shapes. So the first one, and one of the prettiest ones, is all the wonderful aeroplanes they were using, all the Spitfires and all those beautiful aircraft in the war. So we're going to practice a little bit of balance here as we see if we can fly just like the aeroplane. So standing up nice and tall. You're going to be doing this on both sides, so it's really up to you to pick which leg you want to stand on first. So, whichever leg you're going to be standing on, take a moment to squish those toes and really push down into the floor. Then bring your arms out nice and wide, so you need to make sure you've got some space next to you. As you begin to send the other foot behind you, leaning your body forwards just like a plane in the sky. See if you can find your balance. It might be a little wobbly, in which case keep those back toes down on the floor. Find your breath here, pausing for a little while longer. And then bring both feet back to the floor. Give everything a good shake and a wriggle. Okay, we're going to try that again on the opposite side. So squidge the other foot down into the floor. Bring those wings out wide. And then slowly and carefully begin to lift your back leg up. Leaning the body forwards just as far as it's happy to go. Find your balance. Pause for a moment longer. Bring that foot back down and give everything a good old shake out. Super. So now you get to come and sit all the way down. You already have. You've got a right lazy bones today. So coming to sit on your bottom as we think now about all the boats that were used during World War II. So we're going to make ourselves into our strong, steady boat poses today. So sitting on your bottom, bringing your feet flat to the floor. Bring your hands to the back of the thighs for support. Then carefully pick up one leg, taking your shin up towards the ceiling. Then bringing up the other leg. Hold it here. Or maybe explore letting go with your hands. If you've let go and it feels okay, maybe begin to carefully straighten those legs up towards the sky. One more breath. And lowering back down. Lovely. Okay, so heading down now onto your bottom with your legs out straight in front of you. And if you're not already there, just wiggle towards the back of your mat. We're going to make ourselves into the tanks that roamed across the field, running on their caterpillar tracks so that they don't get stuck. We're going to imagine that our legs are those caterpillar tracks and begin to shuffle your way forwards to the front of your mat, not using your hands. You need those out in front of you to make your turret. Once you get all the way to the front of your mat, pause there for a moment. Sit tall through the back as you begin to turn your gun from one side, back through centre, off to the other side. Come back to the middle, maybe lift it up slightly, and then lower it all the way down to the ground. Coming back to centre. Super. Bending those knees, draw the feet in. Gonna roll down onto our backs now. So we take our vehicles underwater, becoming a submarine. So hugging those knees in tight to make your submarine shape. But we might need to see what's happening above the surface. So hold on to just one knee. As you imagine your other leg is a periscope, begin to straighten it up towards the ceiling, giving the foot a little wiggle as it looks around. Lovely. Draw that leg back in, and then swap to the other side. Hug in that knee, stretching the other leg up to the sky, having a little look from side to side. Lovely. Hug both knees back in, and then roll yourself up to seated. And then we're going to flip straight round onto our knees. And sadly, there were lots of bombs going off during World War II. But we're going to use that for our breathing exercise. So similar to the volcano breath, that explosion of breath, really good for letting go of any emotions and feelings that you might have finished with but just don't seem to want to leave. So sitting on your knees, or you can come to sitting on the floor if you prefer. So bring your hands together in front of your belly. So you take a big breath in. As you breathe out, that bomb explodes. Reaching up high, let it all go. Going to take 3 more. Breathe it in, gather it all up and out. Any feelings you don't want to have, gather them up as you breathe in. Breathe out, let them go. This last one, the biggest atomic bomb of all. Breathe in really, really big. Let it all out. Lovely. Then fold yourself forward, coming down into your quiet, peaceful rock pose. On the 7th of May, 1945, Germany finally offered their surrender, and the war in Europe that had raged on for nearly 6 years was finally over. It carried on a little longer in Asia, not finishing until Japan finally surrendered on the 2nd of September later that same year. But as far as Europe were concerned, the war was over and Germany was defeated. Take a moment longer in stillness as we slowly begin to head up, thinking about the celebrations that happened the very next day. So there have been lots of restrictions and rules, no seeing friends and family during the war. So as soon as it was announced it was over, people got together and had huge street parties. So we're going to come up to our feet as we make ourselves into those houses where everyone who'd had to hide and stay away was finally able to come out. So take those feet nice and wide as you grow tall, sending your arms overhead to make a roof on your house. As the people came out of their houses, they decorated the streets with flags and bunting in a triangle shape. So take those arms out wide as you lean over, making your body into triangle pose, just like those flags and bunting that lined the streets. Slowly float up, coming down on the opposite side. Lots and lots of flags. Coming back up to the middle as you sink all the way down to the floor. As all the houses brought their chairs and tables outside to celebrate together, we make ourselves into a table, bringing the feet to the floor in front of you, the hands behind you, using all your strength as you push into your hands and feet, lifting your tummy up towards the sky, making that table shape strong enough to hold all the food and drinks to share with your neighbours. Slowly sinking back down. So food had been rationed, but they still had the ingredients available to make some delicious Victoria sponge cakes and scones to share with one another. So as you bring your legs in front of you, bringing the feet together to make that mixing bowl shape, you're going to bring the hands to hold your spoon. So you begin to circle around, mixing up the ingredients to make your cake. So what sort of things might we put into our cake mix? Butter, yes. Anything else?
Flour.
Flour would be helpful, yes. Begin to stir the opposite way. Can you think of any others? Sugar, yeah. And one more key ingredient?
Eggs.
Some eggs, lovely. Stir it all up. And then we'll stop and close those legs as the cake pops into the oven. Hug yourself really small. And as the heat begins to cook your cake, you start to grow and expand, taking the legs out longer and the arms up higher, spreading the arms out wide. Imagining you're a delicious cake, ready to be smothered with buttercream and jam, and shared with all your friends, family and neighbours. Sinking the arms back down. Once they'd finished feasting, they shared lots of fantastic music and songs and danced away. So coming up to your feet. We don't have any music today. I'd invite you to just move your body in any way that feels good, stretching, wriggling, skipping or dancing. If you're with somebody, maybe you could link arms and take a little dance together. Going back one way and the other. Feeling the joy of happiness, the freedom that the end of that long walk brought to the people who are now able to begin their daily lives, spending time together without the threat of bombs and warfare. So taking a few more seconds to move freely and shake all of those sillies out. And then coming to a pause, standing tall. Take a big breath in and out. As you sink yourself down to the floor, hugging your knees in towards your tummy. Taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then allowing the legs to come down. As you make your way to a comfortable position for relaxation. Ideally on your back. Maybe stretch the legs out long. Grab your cuddly toy or blanket and have a little wriggle to find somewhere that you can be still and calm. Allowing your eyes to close as you settle into stillness. I'd invite you to think about these words in your head, repeating them silently to yourself. Peace begins with me. Love begins with me. Kindness begins with me. Peace begins with me. Love begins with me. Kindness begins with me. As you lay still a few moments longer, with each breath in, drawing in the feelings of peace, love, and kindness. Gently beginning to wriggle your fingers and your toes as you slowly bring yourself up to find a comfortable seated position, growing tall through the body, bringing your hands together in front of your heart. So we take 3 deep breaths together with the chime. Keeping those hands together as we bow to the peace and love inside of each other. Namaste.
Namaste.
So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon for our World War II and celebration of VE Day yoga practice. I do hope that you enjoyed it and that you can take those feelings of peace, love and kindness throughout the rest of your day and week. I hope that you enjoy the sunshine and your extended weekends together. And we look forward to seeing you back here next week for yoga at 1:30 on Tuesday and Thursday. If you haven't seen it already, we now have a YouTube channel, School of Chill Kids Yoga, and all these classes, as well as staying on Facebook, are being uploaded to that channel. So be sure to like and share and subscribe to the YouTube channel to make sure that you don't miss any classes and that you can involve other members of your family or friends in the benefits of yoga too. So once again, thank you very much for joining us and enjoy your next few days, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.